Hello everyone. Today we are going to see Indian shrimp production beyond 1 million metric ton and the way forward. About me, my name is Nagamurali and I did my MFSC and currently doing PhD also, almost completed. And I'm a businessman residing in Ghana, and I will be doing consultancy in some other countries also apart from Ghana. And so basically I'm a businessman and a consultant. Today, let us talk about the missing goalpost. Why I am saying that is we shouldn't look for buyers after we produce. We should produce based on the demand. So what I mean to say is our industry, this is all about the shrimp industry today. What the crisis we are facing, and why we are at this situation, and why we are not able to achieve our goal. As I can describe, we all, the shrimp industry is having some team members. The team members consist of the farmers, the hatchery owners, the processors, the government agencies. These are all should be like a team. And when the team plays with a full integration and effort with hand in hand, there will be definitely a goal. And if this integration is not there in between them, the guidance is not there in between them, definitely everybody will be shooting the ball in the adjacent sides of the goalpost, but nothing will enter into the goalpost. That's what, like I say, this is the missing goalpost. And taking a look at how things have been, a bird's eye view of historical patterns, like pattern of export. Let us see what is it on the historical view. And you can see here, the historical Indian shrimp data export, and where you can see when we are, this is from 2011-12 to 2020-21. If you look at Japan, our export is stable at around 100,000 tons. And if you see USA, we were at less than 100,000 tons, and now we have reached at a peak of 300,000 tons by 2020, 1920. 21, we have come down little. Just note down that we have come down little to USA in 2021. And European Union, we are stable up and down. It's not much problematic zone. And China, we were not doing good, but it went up high, and again it got stabilized at 200,000 tons. And when we look at the Southeast Asian countries, basically I think it comes Vietnam here. At some point we have been exporting most of our shrimps to Vietnam. They are getting reprocessed there and and exported to other countries. So that's why we can see a spike up to 600,000 tons in somewhere around, I think 2017 or something like that. 17, 18, and then it has again come down. Because now, I will explain it much better later. So another thing is Middle East. This is also stable. And then others also, other countries, it may be some other countries, in African countries or like that, that also a little bit stable only. Now let us see some markets are showing sudden lows. Which are the markets which are showing the sudden lows? Southeast Asia, I've been explaining, it was 2017-18 was peak at 600,000 tons, and then it has come down to now 200,000 plus. This every one of us know who is in this processing industry. We have been exporting our shrimps to Vietnam for reprocessing, and from there they are getting exported to China, Europe, and US in that particular period. So the redirection was happening that time, and that is because of multiple problems in processing industry or some other reasons. But now it has been back streamlined, and we are able to export from India to US and European markets and other markets. So we are not depending upon China, Vietnam for the reprocessing. So that's the reason why we have streamlined again. And now there are some sudden spikes, ups and sudden ups and sudden downs, China. You can see we were doing very less until 2017-18. Then again 2018-19 it shoot up. Then again 2019-20 it shoot up again, even after the post-COVID period. And again 2021 it has come down. 2021 it has come down because there is a commercial agreement between the Ecuador and Chinese regarding the shrimp export business. So that's the reason there. And some show consistent highs, steep consistent growth. If you are looking at the USA market, you can see there we started at around 60,000 tons in 2011-12, and today we are at almost 300,000 tons in 2020 and 2021. A little bit less, but there is a steep growth, and this is the main market which helped boost our shrimp exports. But the factor where you see the 2021 coming down a little less is a factor of concern, which you will see much better in the coming slides. Some show consistent acceptance, there is no much fluctuations. When you look at the European Union, they were between 160,000 to 180,000 tons, a little bit of fluctuations, but still it is okay. There is no much turbulence, or there is no much decrease or increase in this data. They are little how stable. In the same way, the Middle East market also, it is somewhere between 40,000 to 50,000 tons or 60,000 tons. It is also not much, it's not a very big market and it is quite stable. Now, are we missing the target? We need to do the detailed market intelligence to see whether are we missing the target. Now, just have a look at this data, a breakdown of US imports of shell-on products according to the size categories from 2019 to 2021. If you look here, the 21-25, this is headless shell-on. So 21-25 comes and falls somewhere around 30 count, maybe 30-35 count. Then again 31-40 comes around 40 count, then 50 count, then 60 count. And again under 15 is 20 to 25 count. Again 41-50 is around 70 count or 80 count. Until all these sectors, you see, the maximum acceptance of American market is big sizes. They don't like this more than 70, or they don't like this 61 to 70. That means they don't like the small counts. They like marginally big counts and medium size big counts. So that what is our target is for US market is should start from 50 count to 30 count. So this is the US preference market, which we can see the data from the data here. Now, the farmers' questions and the data points to study. What count should we target? Consumer preference data from each importing nation. Our consumer, our best consumer, our biggest consumer is the US market. And they need the big sizes. So what should we produce? Or what should we target? We should produce the big sizes, not these small sizes like 100 counts, 90 counts, 80 counts. This is not their preference. So what are we targeting? What should we grow? So based on the consumer preference, we need to target the big sizes. How much shall we stock? Importing nations demand and competing countries information. For every culture system, or in the shrimp especially, based on your stocking density, your target harvest size is depending. If you are stocking high density, you can never achieve the big sizes. That means the stocking density should be optimized so that you produce big size shrimps and so that you can supply to the US markets. So, and again, the competing countries information, what the other countries who are competitors to us are producing, how much they are selling in size-wise class. This information is very important for the farmers also, so that they produce the appropriate size of shrimps. Do we stock this season or the next? Now, season-wise market demand in the importing nation and competing nations and production volumes. If you can see the trend of the volumes taken by every country, there will be some peaks and peak-offs. If you are targeting US, basically they might be taking more stocks for the Christmas. If you're targeting Chinese market, Chinese New Year, like that, every country is having their own preferences for the peaks and peak-offs. So we have to look at it and you have to streamline your production according to their preference of the sizes. At a particular peak stage, what size they are requiring, what they are demanding. Accordingly, you have to streamline also your seasons, their season of purchase has to be streamlined with our season of production. So again, I will say, let's not look for buyers after we produce. We should produce based on the demand. Now, who should take up this work? And let's discuss this further. Expand your opportunities. It is time to expand the pie. So now, how long will try to take the slice of someone else's pie? This sentence is until past 6-7 years, we were not a big exporter of shrimp or competitor of shrimp to anybody. Okay, Vaname has come into picture, but Vaname came long time back. Already it's I think 15-16 years. But when did we start exporting too much? When did this work means when China started consuming their own product, when there is a deficiency of supply in the market because of China not exporting their shrimps, then we came into the picture as an exporter. Until then, we cannot compete with the Chinese price. We could not export. So there we took an advantage. That means we have shared someone's pie, or we got someone's pie which they couldn't eat. That I can say like that. No, it's not how we build the market. It has the gap created by the Chinese has come to us. Now let's make our own pie and let's make it a larger one. So how do we do that? The biggest advantage in India is our population. We are almost 130 to 140 crores. I think second largest population, and more urban population, more young population, more educated population coming up, feeding habits changing. So this is the advantage, right? Like our household income has increased a lot. Our per capita income has increased a lot. Our GDP, everything economically, like when you are looking at 2022, 23, India is the best country in the GDP and the performance. We are the only country with 6.5 GDP. So we are the best performing country. That means our living standards are going to rise, our food habits are going to change, and ultimately this is going to benefit, the domestic market is going to get benefit. So let us capitalize on that. How long, like, now let us answer the question, like, how long will it try to take to the slice of someone else pie? I answered. Then again, our making our pie larger, I answered. Then biggest advantage, I answered. Now everyone believes like we should capitalize it, but who should take it forward? Let us try to answer this question also. The one which is established in 1972, this organization has been with the shrimp sector all along, and it has offices all over the world, and it's nothing but the MPEDA, the Marine Products Export Development Authority. And however, MPEDA enough is not to tackle the issue. Like we have to, as I said before, we have to be a team where MPEDA will be our coach. They should coach us, they should guide us that how to tackle this issue. The new role for the new age, MPEDA's scope should be expanded. They should not be just like, a marine, it should focus both on the domestic and international markets. And their definition has to change. Like it should not be no longer like Marine Exports Development Authority. It should be Marine Products Market Development Authority. Like you need to create the opportunities for the market, either domestic or international. You need to give the forecast. You need to give the guidance. You need to give the planning, like how to plan, how to do, how to execute, which market to target, what size to grow, what is best to sell, what is easy to sell, where you can get more returns. All this information has to be done by them. They have to create the market for Indian shrimps, Indian seafood products in other countries. They have released one advertisement some time back. I'm very much happy to see that, but that's not only enough. A lot of awareness has to be created in the farmers. So what else can be done? Assess 1 year ahead, assess a year before for both the domestic and international markets. Like for export markets, what importing countries will take in the next year. What are the sizes they are likely to take? And for domestic market, what is the demand and supply gap in major cities and what size the consumer prefer? So this is the market intelligence which MPEDA has to assess and pass on to the farmers so that they streamline the whole sector, right from the hatcheries to the processors. Like let us target this particular size, let us target to produce this particular size, let us target this market, like that, they should guide us, like they should give prior, suppose now recession has come and 2023-24 should be much worse markets, especially economic affordability will not be that much. So this type of information has to be given to the farmers, like when you're targeting, come down your volumes, do low stocking densities, produce less, produce good sizes, or produce economically so that we produce affordable food. Like that, this information has to be passed to the farmers well ahead, rather than the farmer produces and when he's ready to harvest and sell, we say, oh, okay, the market has crashed, now we have no market. What he will do? He cannot do anything. We cannot keep it in a cold store, no? Now reassess every quarter, rather than just presenting the data in an Excel form or a graph form after completion of the year and giving us the data. This is what we exported, this is what we earned, this is what we did. Better, you try to release a quarterly bulletin for the farmers saying that, that there is a trend of, this is the trend of the market, this is the change in the market, there is an orientation change in the market and the swing in the market. So try to adjust yourself. This side of information can be passed to the farmers. And I don't say like an MPEDA should travel to all the farms and keep telling them to do this. You have your own channels which you can pass the information and make the information available to the farmers, passing information to the district officers to the farmers. You have a lot of thousands of WhatsApp groups, farmers groups. If you post in one group, it will get to other groups like that. So try to give the market intelligence to the farmers so that they produce responsibly. And MPEDA's advantages of MPEDA evolving, cluster approach. Once MPEDA comes into the market development and once we create a good domestic market, then when the farmers are made available with this information, they can also look into farm clusters and set up their own processing and other units like FPOs and FPCs, and this will get a good boost, like farmer producing companies, farmer producing organizations. Doubling the farmer's income by expanding the pie. The Prime Minister's vision of doubling the farmer's income can be achieved. Our great Prime Minister has a big dream, in his vision that basically India is a farmer's country, and definitely their income has to be doubled. How the income will be doubled? Income will be doubled when you have a demand for your crop, whatever you produce. When there is a demand, then you can sell it for a good price, and then you can double your income. But if you try to dump your product into the market where there is no demand, or if you produce something which has no demand, definitely you cannot double your income. Now, reducing the cost, one way of maximizing profits is reducing the cost, reducing the production cost. So how can we do that? Based on the current situation, our suggestion is go for a low stocking as possible. Like some people saying you take a crop holiday. Yes, taking crop holiday is a good one, but not like some farms taking a crop holiday. If you take crop holiday, every sector has to take a crop holiday, proper crop holiday. Hatcheries has to shut down, farms has to shut down, everything has to shut down, so that the existing virus, EHP, any pathogens gets get rid of the from the culture system, it gets rid of. So that type of holiday, if you take it, is okay. Otherwise, if it's not possible to have such a disciplined crop holiday, better you go for a low stocking, as low as possible, just rather than leaving. We are still in the race, just to continue. And again, give the pond time to regenerate. Once I say this, I don't know how many farmers are doing this regeneration time. Like after harvesting, you dry your pond, then you plow your pond, then you expose the gases, treat the soil pH, and then kill your pathogens which are existing from the existing crop, like that. Sludge removal. Nobody is doing that. Everybody is trying to force themselves into multiple crops, multiple cycles. Like if one crop is failed, immediately they will disinfect that water, putting chlorine, and again they want to stock in the same pond. Is this not an unhealthy practice? Are you giving time to the pond to get regenerate? No. So this attitude has to change. Regeneration of the ponds, and trust the right experts. There are so many pseudo experts in the industry who are misguiding you in many ways, and this misguidance is increasing your cost of production by different ways, using unwanted products, using unwanted techniques. So try to talk to the right experts, and don't feel shy. If you ask something that you don't know, everybody knows everything. Still, none of us is perfect. Every day is a learning day. So try to ask the right experts and get the right information. And again, back to the basics. Every farmer should be hands-on expert. Today the shrimp farming has become something like an intensive bigger unit. You stock them from the time you stock until you harvest. You feed them every hour with something. Either it is a feed additive or it is a pond application or something like that. No, it's not like that. There are some basics. For the shrimp to survive in a pond, there are some basic requirements. First, try to fulfill the basic requirements, and then try to keep your cost under control through that basic requirements. And that will be happening only when the farmer becomes a hands-on expert. Thank you. And I try to present a little bit information so that we identify our consumer, and we produce according to our consumers' demand, and also develop our domestic market also, so that which can sustain ourselves. So thank you, and I have given my phone numbers here, and if anybody wants any further clarification, please try to contact me.